one? Testing. Hello, everybody. This is on? Okay, cool. No? Awesome. All right, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your patience, and hello, everybody who is streaming as well. My name is Horace Lambert. I'm the Executive Director here at Blue Ribbon Results Academy. We love our parent orientation because we know we kind of see you guys on the fly, but we haven't gotten that formal introduction. And depending on how you all found the school, you may not know exactly what we do and how we do it. And so we love to take this time to give everybody some clarity on that and to get formal introduction to me and our awesome staff over there as well. And also a few reminders. So again, Blue Ribbon Results Academy, nurturing children and developing minds one brain at a time. Our school was created by Dr. Hollis, and some of you all may have met her. She's currently in South Africa because they also would love our curriculum, but they want to see what it looks like to put it in practice. So she's there right now helping them with that. 12 years ago is when the school began. She got her doctorate in brain-based management. And so she worked in Norfolk Public Schools all the way up to being a principal. The name Blue Ribbon Results Academy actually comes from, they transferred her to a school in Norfolk that was getting ready to shut down for their poor scores. And just in that year, she was able to turn things around, and they got that national accreditation, and they got a Blue Ribbon Award. And so that's where the name Blue Ribbon Results Academy comes from. After that, she worked with some neuroscientists to see how the brain receives information, and that is the curriculum and the lesson plans that your children get to benefit from now. And so over the time we've been open, it's been super encouraging to see when our children leave here how well they're doing. Personally, my son is in first grade now at Grassfield Elementary, and he knows everything in first grade, so we're working on that right now. And that happens with a lot of children. Those of you who have siblings who have left here, they leave very much ahead, and so teachers kind of have to figure out what to teach them because they already have learned it here. Okay, next slide, please, Ms. Sharina. All right, so what we're going to do today, I know the very important part will be being able to go into those classrooms and to see what actually is going on in there and what the daily schedule looks like. You'll be able to see our teachers and our wonderful speech pathologists as well. Next, we'll have our vision, staff introduction, calendar. A lot of times when I send something out of an event, it's a reminder to something that's already on the calendar, so we really want you guys to be able to focus on that. Ms. Jasmine will talk about it. I'll talk a little bit on our curriculum, some school procedures and best practices, and then after that we'll go into our classrooms. Before we get into that, we'll watch a video that just kind of gets us in the mood of why preschool is important, why we were here, why we're doing what we're doing, and then after that we'll go on to the next. So we want everybody to kind of know what we're here for, why the preschool is here, and why preschool is different than a daycare. So we know a lot of times people naturally think about daycare, and preschool is really nurturing the brain to make sure the students are prepared for it. So you guys will get a little bit from this video we're about to watch here.
So small and so curious.
It seems like they want to change activities every few minutes.
They're at play, but nothing could be more important.
Kids this age, they learn through play. Every game, every activity builds a foundation for education.
When we think of education, we think of the school years we all remember. But the years before school matter even more. The preschool years.
8. All right. Let's try it again.
The first 5 years of life are full of discovery. And though some days might seem repetitive to you, For a child, there's always something new to explore.
Sometimes parents think of school as it begins in kindergarten. It really doesn't.
Having your child go into a very good early childhood program absolutely gives children a leg up. If anything, it is preparation for kindergarten.
Science tells us why.
In terms of structural development of the actual brain itself, as well as functional. So what kind of environment the child is exposed to during those early years will impact that child's intelligence as well as the child's personality later in life.
Whether it's strong, building, or even talking. It's all play together. These activities are actually stimulating brain development.
Kids absolutely learn fast. When they're in an environment like preschool, they'll be picking up how to play, how to make decisions, how to separate from their parents.
And it's these activities that give parents the chance to make sure their child is developmentally on track.
It's really important for parents to be aware of the fact that their kids have developmental milestones. That by certain ages, they're supposed to accomplish certain tasks and be able to do certain things.
By age 3, your child will likely learn how to feed themselves, walk upstairs with alternating feet, and by this age, they should be toilet trained during the daytime. By age 4, they will listen to stories attentively, brush their teeth, and play well with other children.
Parents need to pay attention to how the children are developing. When they start walking, when they start talking. If they're concerned about this, the District of Columbia has services available for these children.
One service that may be helpful is Early Stages, a District of Columbia Public Schools initiative. Early Stages provides screenings for children who may have developmental delays. A family coordinator identifies any learning delays your child might have and then works with your family to help address those delays. It's all geared to keeping your child on track so they don't fall further behind. No matter which path you choose for your child, it's important to know that you have options and that by enrolling your child in the right early education program, they will graduate to kindergarten ready to learn.
All right, awesome. Now, hopefully you got a few great pointers from that. If you did not, the great thing about the experience here is you're going to receive reports at the end of the week for your pre-K2s. You guys receive 2 reports. And so those reports are actually going to allow you to see where your child is each week throughout the week. Then we'll have quarterly reports as well, and we'll have conferences. And so even just a few of the things that were mentioned as those milestones that children should be at, you guys will get to see week by week how your child is developing while they're here at the school. So the vision for Blue Ribbon, I've been told to stay near this microphone. Blue Ribbon Results Academy will provide a quality Christian education and set a spiritual foundation that will foster an unwavering love for God. And so a big part of that, even when we talk about this with the staff, is the quality part. A lot of us that are educators, sometimes when you go to a private school, the expectations are not the same as public school. So your child may be nourished or nurtured, but the education part is lacking. And so what we gain here is we want to focus on the quality part so that when they do go to the public school or wherever they go from here, your child is not just prepared, but they are ahead. And then also, a lot of you guys may see, even in the classrooms and as you guys walk around, we really try to foster the love in each and every one of the children. Loving hands and things of that nature. so that even as they're becoming great citizens as well, they're not just getting their education, but the social interactions as well we work on with them. Next slide, please, Ms. Sharina. Our mission, how we're going to do it. So we're established to provide holistic, that means the whole person, brain-based educational services to preschool children 2 to 5, and these services are designed to develop students' spiritual, intellectual, emotional, social, and physical capacity so that all children will perform to their full potential. And the bottom line is we nurture children and develop minds one brain at a time. All this is saying that all of the research that went in to the curriculum and the lesson plans for Blue Ribbon Results incorporate all of these things. The holistic, I sent a message out, I think maybe last week, that said breakfast ends at 8:30, but if your child comes after 8:30, we're still gonna feed them because it's important to feed the brain. And so different things like that we put into practice. Although we would really appreciate if you feed your children before they get here so they're prepared to learn, we do make sure if a child comes here and they're hungry, we're gonna feed them no matter what the schedule says. And so those are different things that we do here that are a bit different. And of course, brain-based means everything that we do here is gonna be based off science and research. And so we make sure all those things are there before we make a decision on what we're gonna do with your child. And so all of those developmental things occur because of what we already put in the lesson plans and the professional developments on how we train our teachers. Next slide, please. All right, we'll have Miss Jasmine come up and the teachers can come up so she can introduce our amazing staff. Let's clap it up as all the teachers come up to the front.
Extra teacher, Mr. M. Extra teacher. Extra teacher. Wait, should we line up? Extra teacher. He knew. He's new hire. Oh, in order? Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay.
All right, good afternoon. So as our staff get themselves together, I'll start with the calendar. Now the calendar can be found on the website and also on Bright Wheel. At the beginning of the school year, it was posted on Bright Wheel. It's very important that you check the calendar because we have important dates. Especially we have each quarter, we have teacher training day. So there are no students in the building, so we like to be prepared so that you can have childcare ready, okay? For the month of October, we have 3 important events. We have our picture day on the 24th. Sorry, we have our picture day on the 16th. Then we have our Oktoberfest. With Oktoberfest, we usually extend an invitation to parents so you can come in and volunteer, okay? We'll send that information out early so we'll be able to do background checks before you're able to be in the building with our students. Also on the 28th, that's our teacher work day that I spoke to you about earlier, okay? So I'm going to start with our pre-K 2 classroom, the yellow room. We have Miss Shay. She is the lead in the room, followed by Miss Linda. She is our TA. We have Miss Shakona. She works aftercare. For our pink room, our pre-K 3 classroom, we have Miss Jenny. Then we have Miss Angel. She is the TA in that room. Also with Miss Rowe. In our purple room, we have co-leads. So we have 2 lead teachers in that room. So we have Miss Simone and Miss Marie. All right. In our green room, which is also a pre-K 3 classroom, we have Miss Kimaya and Miss Destiny. In our pre-K full classroom, our orange room is Miss Tierra. And the TA in the room is Miss Tia. In our red room, we have the lead teacher, Miss Shania. Miss Shania, she has a TA, she's not here, Miss Neela. All right, in kindergarten, we have Miss Marjorie. She is also one of our educational specialists, so she trained our teachers and our TAs. Okay. We have Mr. Aaron. He is our instructional specialist. So what Mr. Aaron does, he goes to the classroom, he observes our new staff, our teachers, and he gives in the moment feedback. Okay. We have Miss Anicia. Miss Anicia works aftercare. This is Miss Ariana. Miss Ariana, she works resource kindergarten. She does PE and art, and also she is our aftercare coordinator. All right, we have Miss Robin. Miss Robin is our speech specialist. You'll get a chance to go through the media room. She has a setup there, and if you have any questions, you can ask, okay? Then we have Miss Ashaya. Miss Ashaya, she's our sub, and she also works aftercare. We do have a behavioral specialist. She could make it today, but if you think there is need and you would need her services, please reach out on Brightwheel. Again, thank you so much for showing up.
You can walk around.
Huh?
I said you can walk around. I'm gonna sit right here.
Oh. Nice question. So you can just fan out. Yeah. Just be in the blue room. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I
had to get them from school. I couldn't not just get them.
also, I didn't call. Oh, she wasn't here when I called.
Yeah, she wasn't. Just pulling up.
That's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., kind of like 3:15-ish. So for us, after 9 a.m., we don't let any more students in the building. And so we found that when we have people coming in after 9, and transparency, before people would come 9:30, 10 o'clock, it would disrupt the flow of the classroom. And you guys even know, the more you can have a routine and the more your kids know what's gonna go next, the better they feel throughout the day. They feel more secure and they feel more safe when they know what's going to happen. And so when we make that cutoff at 9, it is so once their education starts and their routine starts, they are good to go. They're in the classroom, and when you see the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s, it's just amazing to see we're like 3 weeks in, and they're already catching on to the routine of the classroom. So the teachers are doing a great job at teaching that. Medication, we have a lot of students with medication, so we ask, do not place medication in your children's book bag. Hand it to a staff member after the MAT form has been completed. And so all that form is the form that gives us permission to administer medicine to your child. And so that's very important because they can have a prescription, but the school needs permission to give that prescription. And so if there's a medication that your child gets from now and after this moment, make sure you don't put it in their book bag. When you come in, hand it to a staff member. And we say this because the children's book bags are low in the classroom. So we don't want a child going into a book bag where there's medication and harming themselves. So hand it to a staff member so we can keep it locked up in the office in our cabinets, and then we can give it to the kids as needed. Most of us are familiar. All communications, or most communications, are done daily with Brightwheel. Now, our teachers will not always respond immediately. And we tell all of them their first priority is your children. And so if it's not an emergency, they focus on the children, and then during nap time, or if they get a free moment before, that's when they respond. And so just understand that when you guys are sending messages, they're not neglecting them, but they're just waiting for a free time where they know the children are safe, and then they can go and respond to the different messages that are sent their way. Also, we use Brightwheel for checking in and checking out. So make sure you have your check-in and check-out. And some of us are using, say the husband is using the wife's check-in information. So in Brightwheel, everybody has their own check-in and check-out. And so if you could use your own check-in and check-out information, it allows us to see who exactly picked them up, and not just under one profile. And if you don't know how to do that, when you come back in, we'll help you do that as well. And emergency plan, just so you know, this used to be a government facility, so it is not going anywhere as they tell us, but if it did, the National Guard down the street has let us know that we can store ourselves in their building until everybody gets picked up. Also, just for emergency, so you guys know, and you all really see a lot of the things that we have security cameras around the building, we have panic buttons around the building, we have an alarm system. You see when you come into the lobby, the doors are locked. When you come into the building, all the teachers have the keys because all the doors are locked. And so we have a couple stages that if worst case scenario someone were to enter, it would take them a long time to get to the instructional areas. And we also have exit doors in the back. So at worst case scenario, if somebody did get in here, there are exits in the back. We've tried the panic button twice. It takes the police about 1.5 minutes to get here. They have all of the floor plans for our building. They know that we're a school here, so they prioritize that if ever we do push a panic button. That's just on the safe side to make sure you guys know. We go through a lot of lengths to make sure the children are safe here as well. Next slide, please, Ms. Sharina. A quick nutrition, less sugar and more fuel. So that just means as we're choosing the meals for our children, if we could choose things with less sugar and more of those nutrients and vitamins that gives them that fuel they need for the day. Water in their water bottles, even from the time they start their calendar math, they're jumping up, they're going down, they're rolling around, and so that water in their water bottles really helps them to move throughout the day. Sleep. Make it a routine to ensure enough sleep is received according to the age of your child. Super, super, super important. If your child comes here without enough sleep, we've seen it sometimes. If you don't get enough sleep, you've seen it sometimes. It is hard to operate, so we really love when our children get enough sleep so they can come here prepared to learn. Brightwheel again to communicate any of those things that may have happened before you got here that may affect them throughout the day. We appreciate those heads up. And attire, even as we start transitioning to cooler weather eventually, jackets, shorts for skirts and dresses, shoes that can be easily removed and put on. There are some very cute shoes that you all put on your children, and when we have fire drills and whatnot, it makes it very difficult to put those shoes on and get out of the building. And so just be mindful of the shoes that you send to make sure it's something that can get put on and taken off. And know at the worst case scenario, we're gonna leave those shoes in the building if there's an emergency. Next slide, please. Just a couple of statistics, and it's funny because even as we go further, some of these numbers down here have changed, I'll tell you. Our kindergarten pass rate, of course, is 100%. And just talking to Ms. Mars today, we say kindergarten pass rate 100%. Most of the time when they leave kindergarten, they're really on a like 2nd to 3rd grade, and so it's pretty cool to see it. our graduates scored end of year first grade to end of year second grade in math, science, and social science. And really after the pandemic now, it's really like second to fourth grade. And graduates read on a first to seventh grade level when they leave here. And so we really pride ourselves on that continued education while the children are here. Next slide, Ms. Serena. We're gonna leave this up here for any parent feedback that you all have. And so you'll let us know what you guys are dismissed, how you all felt, what you guys felt could be different. We always love to go by the data, as I've said before. And from here, you guys can exit into your classrooms. If you don't know what color classroom your child is in, you can feel free to ask me, I'll let you know, I'll look it up for you. But you guys can go ahead and get up, and you guys are dismissed to go to the classrooms of your children. Thank you.